a medical opinion of how they look at diets and things and why they claim it doesn't matter what you eat, it doesn't affect your health.
Right.
Now, that very statement alone is shattering when there's not one person, I think, on this planet would ever believe that. Even though a lot of people don't understand how bad proteins are for you and all that other stuff, still, I don't think too many people that understand if you drink, like we were talking about earlier, turpentine, that you're not going to have a blowback on that. And this starts off, and this is a very narcissistic point of view here. It says, hey, I love your videos, great information. I'm looking around on YouTube and you always see it, and it goes on and on and on. That said, this myth needs to end, and it doesn't say what they're really talking about.
I think it's like in reference to the alkalinity,
acid and alkalinity.
Yeah,
that's it.
And how we have to be more alkaline, and how that's better for preventing.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Because down here it talks about that. He talks about that, and he cuts down here naturopaths, but in particular Dr. Young, the pH miracle. But we'll talk about that. This myth needs to end. The below isn't meant to be harsh, but the fact that this is myth continues to be perpetrated upon the masses does them a disservice. This violates very basic biochemistry, as if this guy knows biochemistry. Now, here's a biochemistry teacher. So we're going to examine this, okay? Let me see, where am I? Okay.
Bone is not
broken down to alkalize anything, all right? So, where we stop here...
This was a research article. It's entitled, Excess Dietary Protein Can Adversely Affect Bone. I mean, it's already common knowledge that countries with the highest dairy consumption also have the hiest levels of osteoporosis.
Isn't that amazing?
There's a direct correlation there. And in this research article, they're showing that basically they divide foods according to this PRAL, which is the potential renal acid load. And it's all discussing the alkaline versus acidic ash. It's hard to find.
It is hard to find
research articles where they include that or incorporate that type of measurement. But they give each of these foods a PRAL number. And the negative numbers are more alkaline on the PRAL scale, and the positive numbers are more acidic. And the only ones that really came up as negative are fruits, which were negative 3.1, and then vegetables, negative 2.8. Everything else was acidic. And the more alkaline they were, again, the negative numbers, they had a positive effect, less dietary calcium loss, better bone density, so those were the correlations there, whereas with the more acidic foods, there was more calcium loss in the urine and lower bone density.
Yep.
Well, where do you think the calcium's coming from? It's coming from the bone tissue, and as we see it, all of these structural organs in the body.
Absolutely. Connective tissue. And that explains things like varicose veins, spider veins, petechia, herniations, aneurysms, things like this, because you have to be able to explain why people have these symptoms. And it's a loss of connective tissue. Well, what's connective tissue? And then you get into that sort of thinking. This, I read this to him a little bit before, down the way, but this is from the Division of Endocrinology and Metabolism, Department of Medicine, Metrofor Medical Center, and the Albert Einstein College of Medicine, Bronx, New York, and it goes on. So this isn't one medical doctor sitting here touting off some ego.
Yeah.
This is a bona fide study, and a good one. And what was interesting to me, which I did not realize over all these years, that the kidney couldn't excrete under 5 pH. It says here,
yeah, it does say that.
That freaked me out. Which brings up a whole bunch of thoughts in what we're going to tell them about sulfates, in taking antibiotics, and that whole... What can happen when you destroy the bacterium in the lymph nodes that are supposed to take the 3? Because they confirm just what I've been teaching for years, that metabolitic wastes are 3 pH. And they do just like me, they reference Coca-Colas. And that's what I do, because the Minnesota School of Dentistry sent me a bunch of pH studies that they had done. And it was Coke, Pepsi, each one is a little different, but they all hover around 2.85 to 3.15. Except for Gatorade.
That was even more acidic.
Gatorade was more acidic than Coke.
Wow.
And I wondered why in the past when I was building a house or something, I tried to look for something halfway healthy. And I think, well, I'm just going to hydrate here a little bit, and I'd get upset stomach. I did not. I said, no, this is acidic. But I didn't even think about it because they don't make those claims. They call it hydrating drink. You don't hydrate under the acidic sky, let me tell you. But it's very interesting, but they talk about the 3 pH, the 2.8 to 3.2 acids, metabolitic acids. The importance of having bacterium in your lymph nodes is to bring these up or down, depending how you look at the pH scale, to 6, I think 6, because they're claiming, and these universities and colleges are claiming that the kidneys cannot excrete under 5 pH.
Yeah.
I think the understanding of that would put you down, because I talk about that. If you're peeing 3 pH, you're going to pee on your knees.
That's true.
You're going to burn so bad. It's going to, you can put Coke in your mouth and hold it. Burns. So this was with excellent research, and there's more to this. It goes on, and they found even more research. I mean, more. There's other research on top of this research. What was this one here? Daily urinary calcium was, I was showing this one here. pH was more, exactly what you said. And so the importance of understanding whether your food has an acid ash or an alkaline ash. We're going to get into that a little bit more as I read on here. All right? So, this violates basic biochemistry. Bone is not broken down to alkalize anything. And you just saw a report from major colleges denouncing what this guy is saying. That is pseudoscience. He's calling the Albert Einstein College pseudoscience. He's calling the Division of Endocrinology and Metabolism, Department of Medicine, he's calling them quacks, basically. Excuse me? Oh yeah, I need to see her. All right. Bone is not broken down, like anything. All right, so here it goes, and he continues to say that is pseudoscience that's been perpetrated ad
nauseum, yes.
Nauseum. Why leach calcium when your kidneys make bicarbonate out of the 2 most plentiful elements in your body?
Oh my goodness. You know, just because someone understands the basic way we, within a certain range, buffer acids or alkaline substances. I mean, yes, there's the bicarbonate system, and bicarbonate is the most abundant buffering molecule in our body. But we don't have a lifestyle where we are living in this natural homeostatic range.